Hwasa.
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 Maria.
Yeah.
I love Hwasa.
Wow.
Sorry. Okay.
Maria, 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 Maria.
It was a 2020 release.
You are now reacting to the 4-member girl group Mamamoo and their B-side Diamond off of their 2020 travel album. The song foreshadows an epic adventure ahead. It speaks of being open to romance, yet never losing sight of individual ambitions and purpose. Rare is a love song that healthily encourages coexistence with a partner rather than being completely eclipsed by them. The song is composed... It reminds their listeners that everyone has a sparkling diamond inside of them and they can go anywhere and do anything if they realize that existence. The song is composed by Kim Do-hoon and Park Woo-san from RBW.
I have feelings. Hey, bass.
Who?
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh. Some swung feel in the rhythms. Oh, yes.
I like the texture of the bass doubled with the muted guitar. It's cool.
Hit us, hit us. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, what the?
That major 3 was hit really strongly though.
It was so strong because they went up to it. They're like, ah.
That's true.
It's so good.
I didn't expect that.
Ooh, the echo is really well done. It's echo and reverb, which I once thought were the same thing. They're totally not.
They're very different.
Oh!
This is a song where the sparse instrumentals really do good.
Busta Rhymes.
It's cool, it's kind of chill. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not too much at all.
It has a wave you can ride.
I do like all these different percussive sounds going on. What?
See, the pitch they sing the D-I-A-M-O-N-D, I know it sounds like speaking, but they definitely choose this weird pitch that makes it sound more striking, like D-I...
Oh my god, starting over? I was ready to vibe for like 2 more minutes. Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that's it? Oh man, I liked it. I wanted more.
Yeah.
Did you like it, Owen?
I did. I liked the modal vibe. I liked the dominant 7th. Ba, 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 ba. That made it feel very different than it'd be da 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 da. Way cooler. Way
Imagine
more
if Billie
spacious.
Jean was da 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 da.
That's so bizarre. And the clave rhythm, it's such a basic and danceable rhythm that you can just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's great.
It creates a lot of interesting moments when the vocal melody can really play with the rhythm. So that's why I think it works. There were just so many nice production details, like the echo and the reverb that was used. I felt like there was definitely some echoing, which is like echo, 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 echo. But then the reverb is the trailing off that you hear after the release of a sound. But then once the next verse started, it's like, I think there was still a reverb, but it's more of a very short reverb. It's not completely dry, but there's a clear enough difference that we know that we're in a different section. And I think those little touches make the song interesting to listen to, despite the very simple rhythm, which was why the whole thing works so well.
They had really sudden, but like stylistically fitting shifts of harmony,
tasty.
of tonality there, right? They went between. I mean, it made my brain all hurty, brain hurty, because it's like, oh, it started kind of like minor, kind of not bluesy. Bum bum ba 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 ba. It's like 1 5 flat sev re sev 1 ba 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 ba, and then they were sort of sitting in minor with their melody, and then when they hit diamond, because I guess it's pure and sparkly, they made it major, or they used the raised third and had the kept same note here, but this became a 1 in major now, so they go diamond instead of ba 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 ba, and then there was the spelling of the diamond. I have no idea what that was, and made brain hurty. And there was even like later in this thing, I was like, is it maybe just Mixolydian because it's like major with a flat sev? No, because then they did have a minor 3. So like, I'm excited by it because it made me really think and listen very carefully. And part of that also what draws you in, I think, with this piece in particular, this tune, is how everything is a lot more intimate. They're not shouting at you. They do sing pretty high and well supported, but they back off the sound so it's not as loud and blary. And there's a lot of moments when you can hear that their mouth is close to the microphone because you hear all the intricacies of their consonants and their breathing, especially when Moonbyul's rapping. You can hear her breathing and all of the intricacies of her consonants because they're close, which Claude, you were doing with the sponsor earlier, like you have to draw them in, right?
So every little like vocal ad lib that is like in the background is so perfectly placed. It's just so oh my goodness.
They're smooth. I like too how their voices work together because they all blend really nicely, but they also are unique. I forgot which one had the lower timbre.
The rapper?
Yeah.
Moonbyul.
Yeah. That beautiful sound. It's like dark but still clear, which is always hard to achieve. So yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I think one of the strengths of Mamamoo is that each of their members brings such a different sort of musical color or idea into the music, but it doesn't feel disjointed. Like with the first verse, it's very melodic and very R&B, very R&B-esque. The second, when Moonbyul, is that her name?
Moonbyul.
When Moonbyul starts rapping, it's very fast and it's very, very hip hop, or very hip hop inspired. But it sort of the elision between the two is so seamless that it just feels like one song. It doesn't feel like, oh, this section's one song. Oh, we suddenly got transported to another song. It's very seamless and it's so well done.
All right. All right.
All right.
All right.
So there was lots
Jason,
of
what are you
what?
going to say?
Yeah, it's just like there's a lot of things.
What are these things?
I don't even know.
Just explain the emotions, like your initial reaction.
Should I start with a negative?
Sure.
It had no driving force whatsoever through the entire song. So it was incredibly bland in energy. There was nothing that like pushed anything forward.
Correct.
It felt like I was stuck in mud the whole time.
I don't like how the bass never changed up. Like it was the same for the whole song.
It was a little trancy.
I was kind of waiting for it to like drop to something else. They did add some like percussion over it.
They did, oh my god.
Yeah, it's made use of pedal points in like a great way. So like, one bass note with changing harmony above it. So like the first obvious thing they did was they switched to a major mode when the chorus is kind of. I shouldn't sing. That part was like an obvious shift, but then there were some sus chords like over the pedal point, and a pedal point's a great tool for having shifting harmony and changes in harmony and like mode shifts while having it still feel in context with what came before, because you've got the basses staying the same, but it's just everything on top of it is changing. So like it's just a really good tool for this. there were points when the bass is going, the bass instrument, not like the bass motion, but the bass instrument and guitar were playing that motive, but then there was like a sub bass that would like kind of fade in on a different pitch. Like after the first chorus, it happened, I think. And I like that. I thought it was kind of a cool, it obscured a little bit of what was going on. Like I heard something that didn't sound totally the same and there was no bass, and then the bass came in. And I like that. It just like, it provides a level of intrigue to the song that is appreciated by me.
Yeah, I like some of the more lyrical, like da 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 da. Yeah, those are the right notes. Like that sounds very Lana Del Rey-esque to me, or maybe even like, I don't know, Marina and the Diamonds or something.
Said Lord.
Lord, I could see that. Yeah.
Do you know Royals by Lord?
Yes.
I got that vibe.
The way that she harmonizes her voice, very similar, but also the chord structure too is very similar to Lord.
Really? She goes into these modes? Then again, I only know like her singles. I don't know her.
But also, what the fuck? Like there were some weird things happening. Like I don't know. My brain's just not doing it, man. But I heard things and I was like, what?
Their voices were very interesting. It's very breathy, but it kind of like seduced my ears.
Yeah, it was
like,
very seductive.
It was
She
like
was.
what I mean by seductive to the ears was that she's really attractive.
She was no, but yes, she's attractive, but her voice was like seductive as well.
Yeah,
So it was just very.
It grabs your attention.
The D-I-A-M-O-N. Like, it kind of feels like I'm just like hitting something.
I think it's 'cause
not that bad, but like, it's just so impactful in every note. And like, it's so weird from what we just came from that my brain is
Those
like,
Those are quarter note triplets. That's why it feels so, because it's, here's a ba, 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 and then it's D-I-A-M-O-N-D. Like they start us off with those quarter note triplets.
Like, I
which
love
is,
this
like the
subdivision.
syncopation makes you like, ooh, when are we gonna release the tension? And
I think
it's
it's more
very,
like the voice falling every single time. Like you have, because it's like your heart and your lungs kind of move with the voice. So when you're going da da, you're like
They go from the major area. Here's the major tonic that used to be a minor tonic. And then they just go up a whole step, ba, ba, ba. Now it's a minor, ba, 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 ba. And then they go to the 4 of the original key, and then they play go cadence back into minor. I don't know, it was a wild ride, and it was very unexpected. You saw my face.
I like the song a lot. I thought it was subtle, but very, very stimulating at the same time because of the subtlety. And I also just like the toned down nature of it. I like that there were just 4 singers. They each had like their own thing that they did, and like it was unique, but it didn't. None of their vibes clashed with each other. I felt like they went together really well. And if I had just listened to it and not known that there were 4 singers, I probably would have just thought there was one, even though different things were being done.
And just with the overall tone of the piece, I felt like you could just feel a sense of confidence. Like it's calm, cool, and relaxed, and confident, which is a really good vibe to have in your music, because I felt like I wasn't feeling like they were trying to prove that they were able to word this 4-girl singing group. This is what we do. No, I felt like, because like how Raph said earlier, like it felt like there was one person. Like it was just like the vibe itself of the piece was very coherent and put together.
Yeah, you make a lot of interesting points, because 2 things. One, yes, I feel like when we think of empowering songs, we think of loud, sexy, like upbeat type stuff. And 2, definitely when they debuted, since they debuted under a really small company, they were doing those kind of songs, those loud, proud, we are 4-member group.
Yeah.
But after, 7 years of being together as a group, they can do like quieter, more subtle, empowering songs like this.
I definitely get that, like, just from hearing this. Like, they're like, we've been here, you guys have heard us, this is who we are. The sense of confidence and just, like, what they have to bring.
Whoa, you really hit the nail on the head, dude.
Oh my God. Everybody now.
We are not things currently. We're just chaotic energy, just bouncing off the walls, trying to find a home. Sad.
Okay, this song.